All right, guys. I wanted to make just a quick video. Sorry, it's a cell phone video. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So I got the GasGas 2025 EX250F. The bike has, let's see here, 10.9 hours on it. And if you've been watching, it's a love-hate relationship with this bike. I really do like a lot about it. Specifically, the WP suspension is fabulous. The handling is great. It's a really good bike, but I have had problems with it flaming out, and it's kind of irked me for a while. I did try a Vortex ECU. I looked at getting a heavier clutch pressure plate to help. The clutch pressure plate ended up not working out. It just didn't fit. The Vortex ECU, I think, did help. And it definitely improved power overall, especially down low. And then also it helped with just some engine braking, although that never really bothered me, I would say. But the bike is pretty awesome. However, there were some frustrations, and some of it is just maybe me as a rider and what I'm used to. And because of that, I decided to switch things up a little bit, and we have a new addition. So the 2025 Beta 350 Race Edition. And if you don't know, I had a Beta 390 in the past and loved it. So I wanted something a little bit racier than the 390. So something that is progressive in the RPM, kind of like this 250 is, where it wants to rev out, it likes being revved. The 390 would, I think it redlined around 13,000 RPM, so it got up there and it had plenty of power. But I wanted to try something a little bit different, and I ended up getting this 350 and am pretty excited about it. I just took it for a quick spin just through our green belt here in my neighborhood. I'll probably do some of the break-in over this weekend and go from there. So for the beta, what they want you to do for break-ins is, for the first hour, not go past 50% throttle. For the second hour, not go past 75%. And then from 2 to 3 hours, do whatever you want. And then the first service is at 3 hours. After 3 hours, and I'll have to double check in the manual. This is just what they were telling me when I picked it up. And I did break in another beta, but it's been a few years and I can't remember. But after the 3 hours, your next service isn't for 30 hours. So it's pretty nice. Not too short service interval. Unlike the GasGas, honestly, I didn't even check the GasGas manual. I just had the valves checked at, I think, 5 hours. And I've been replacing the engine oil because it's engine and clutch oil engine clutch oil in one. I've just been replacing it every 2 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit short or a little bit long, so anywhere from like maybe 1.75 to 2.25, depending on the rides that I'm doing. So I'd have to double check the manual. I don't want to say wrong, but I'm sure I'm doing it early, but just the fact that it's not a split case. So same oil for the engine and transmission. I've just been changing it more frequently just to make sure it stays clean. On the Beta, my 390, I changed it every 30, like they said, and mainly because it is a split case. So your engine oil and your transmission oil is separate. So that is a pretty big difference. 30 hours is a pretty good amount of time to go. I do got some parts down here. So I've just got some swing arm guards, and then I've got some steg pegs. I've never had steg pegs before, but I heard they're awesome. And so I'm gonna give them a try on this guy. I also got some pretty nice carbon fiber fork guards from Beta. And I got a couple I got a lot of these parts from Beta actually. I worked out some stuff with my dealer to help me out, and he was super cool. Let's see, what else do we got here to show you? Oh yeah, the dealer did put in a factory Beta fan for me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just these few small upgrades. I do need to get a linkage guard, so I'll get that. The stock Beta skid plate, it's a plastic one. You know, it's pretty thin, but I did have one on the same exact one on the 390, and it was fine. I got it caught on some rocks and bashed it pretty good. I would say it's not as nice as one of these really thick plastic ones, so maybe I'll swap it out. We'll see. The Race Edition does come with some cool stuff, mostly just, other than the KYBs, mostly just some bling. So you'll see you got some nice anodized red parts, you know, the sprocket and the axle holders there, as well as like the oil caps. Let's see. You've got a quick release down here for the front axle that's nice and anodized. Some more engine parts there that are anodized. But the big thing for me with the Race Edition was the KYBs. I just wanted to try them out. I had the Sachs stuff on my 390 and they were awesome. No complaints on the Sachs. You know, it has been 2 years. I've gotten a little bit faster. I've only been riding for 4 years. So, you know, at least what I found is the last 2 years was a bigger progression than the first two. Just getting more comfortable. I think that 390 actually helped with a lot of that. So I wanted to try the KYBs. I've heard really good things, and we'll see. I know there's a lot of adjustment in the KYBs, so I'm hoping that if they are a little too stiff, I can soften them up, and they'll be exactly what I need. But anyway, yeah, it's a quick video, just a little walk around, nothing crazy. I'm not going to go into tech specs or anything like that of the 350. It is a 2025, like I said, and I got what I feel like is a decent deal on the bike. The 26s are starting to come in, and so I just kind of worked it out with my dealer, and yeah, anyway, they did have a 390 in the shop. A brand new, it was the X Pro, which is basically like the RR that I had before. So it had the Sachs suspension, which I heard is still awesome, but I really wanted a 350. So again, the GasGas, we'll see. I'm going to do some back-to-back. I'll take both bikes out. I'm going to ride them back-to-back, which I think will be an interesting comparison. Probably ride this one on the stock tires and tubes, at least for the first few hours. I will be putting moose balls in it, and undetermined on tires yet. We'll see. I definitely am not the biggest fan of the rear tire on the Beta, and it's not that it doesn't have traction or anything, but if you don't know, they come with 140/80/18s on these. So they're just kind of big and round and like a balloon, I guess, is the best way to describe them. And I think with the tubes especially, they feel a little bit bouncy. So come back over here. So this is an aftermarket tire. And if you look, the tire profile, it's just a little bit flatter, so you get more tread on the ground. And this one is even bigger than normal. So this is a 120/118. And I think on my TX, it's a 110/118. So I'll do like a profile one of this guy. It's hard to tell. But if you look, so you can probably see now, it's just a little bit more of a rounder shape to it. And I think it just feels a little bit bouncier. But we'll see. We'll do a back-to-back. I am interested in that, but probably maybe several back-to-backs of the two bikes. And then the GasGas will be going up for sale. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. I'm really happy to have the beta, but the GasGas does have a lot of pros, and I'm curious if I'm going to miss any of that. I hope not. I hate having buyer's remorse, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, see you in the next video. Hey, I forgot to add in the other video that I did have one little warranty item here. If you look at the very top of this bolt, it has some corrosion. It's hard to tell from the camera here, but it's just some surface corrosion, and the dealer did catch it and told me about it before I picked up the bike. They filed a warranty claim with Beta, and basically they're just going to replace it and get a new one for me. They didn't have it at the dealership, so they're shipping it in, and yeah, they'll just give it to me. I'm not planning on pulling this one. I looked at it really close, and I'm just going to hit it with like just a little brush and clean it up, and I think it'll be fine. But I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know that, look over your new bikes. Luckily, my dealer did a really good job. My Beta dealer looked over everything and caught it, told me about it before I showed up, so I do appreciate that from them. But anyway, I just saw it while I'm here installing the stag pegs, so I thought I'd just make a quick little update there.